Well, hello and good morning and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I recently repaired the brakes in the van, so I thought I'll take the van for a wee run, and then I thought, why don't I use the van as the model and look for various locations, try out some various lenses so you can see the difference that some of the lenses make. So join me and let's see where this journey takes us. So my first stop, I'm just going up a quiet single track road, and then that way I've got plenty of places that I can stop if I see anything. And as you can see, absolutely no one here. It's very early in the morning. So what I'll do is I'll turn round and you can see where I've positioned the van. And I've intentionally positioned the van there because I've got blue sky. So what I'll try and do is I'll do a 3/4 shot of the van, and then I'll go to the front and I'll take a shot of the van with the old building in the background. And let's see if we can make this interesting. So let me get set up and I'll explain what I'm doing. Right, so I'm going to do this handheld. I'm just checking my settings just now. I've got a polarised filter on. And the reason that you use a polarised filter when you're taking shots of vehicles is to take the glare out of the windows. So what I'm going to do is just up my ISO. I'm going to zoom in, just make sure I've got the right focus, and I'm just going to adjust the polarizer so I can see. And the whole point of this is to make sure that you can see through the windows, but equally you take the glare off the windows. So I'm going to go down low and I'm going to take a low shot. Yep. So I'm shooting at f7.1. I've had to put my ISO up to 320 and I've got 1/125th of a second shutter speed. So what I'll do is I'll take a number of different shots and I'll share those images with you now. Alright, so my next stop, I've just stopped at a junction so that if anybody comes up there's space. But if I turn the camera around, you can see what caught my interest. So I've got these old trees, I've got the van. So I could take that shot because there's some nice light in the background. However, as you'll see, we keep talking about separation. Those tree branches are behind the van, or touching the van as it looks like. If I just turn around a little bit to here, very subtle, but those tree branches are now no longer touching the van in the sense. So we've got separation between those tree branches and the van. Well, it's quite windy up here. So what I'll do is I'll get set up and we'll see what images we can get. There's some what looks like bluebells over here. I don't know if you can see them. So I don't know if we can use those bluebells as an area of interest or even as a frame for the image, but we'll try that. I'm just walking round the back of the van to see if there's another composition that we've got. So if I turn round, so what we've got here is there's a tree over there, but there's a sign. That sign's sitting right above the van. So we would have to go down low so that you can no longer see the sign, get in a wee bit tighter, closer crop because we don't have the white lines in the road, and then that will be our leading line for the van as we go down. But if we go really low, that might be quite nice. Right, I'll get set up and we'll take a couple of shots. Okay, so I've pulled in again at the side of the road, got an amazing view here. It's quite misty this morning, but look at that. The clouds are breaking up, it's getting quite windy, but the clouds are breaking up quite nice. So that area is the kind of Dunblane, Stirling area, and that's the Campsies. And then if I look round, what took my attention was all the trees. So I thought, could I get a shot with the trees in the background just for a wee bit of interest? And I'm just looking at a composition, see that's quite wide. So for me to get that shot, I'd need to change to the wide angle lens. So we can do that, and then we can get the van and the vista of all the trees in the shot. I'm just walking round to see if that would make quite a nice side on shot. So if I walk back to the fence here, if I walk back to there, turn round and look, see that 3/4 image there, and if I position the van in the bottom left quarter, that could be quite a nice image because we've got some blueness coming out in the skies. And then a kind of low side on shot shooting through the grass would also be a nice image. And then I'm just trying to see if there's anything else around. What we'll do is we can walk into the forest and look back the way and see if there's any compositions from it. Right, so I've found the gate or the access into the forest there, but what caught my eye was this big log. And if I tilt the camera down, that could make quite a wee nice bit of foreground interest, shooting through the grasses and then getting the van. So we'll try that, and as I'm talking, if I take these images, I'll share them as I go on. If I walk through the path, and let's see where this takes us. See, you've got a shot there, but you actually haven't really got a shot because you've only got half a van. So you've got all the nettles in front, but it's taken away most of the view away for the van. So the other thing here, if I come into the woods, to get a shot of the van, for this distance I would need to use a longer lens. And then that way I could pull the van closer using the longer lens. But we'll walk in a little minute and we'll just see if there's any areas that could make kind of framing point of view. See, the van's not that clear. So this is probably not a area where I would get a decent image. So just because there's too much grass growing up at the side of the road there and you can't really see the van clearly. You could do that if you want a top half shot, but what I will do, I'll put the longer lens on, I'll go in there, I'll take that shot just so you can see what I'm talking about. Alright, so I have another set of photos. I had a quick stop back there at a little bridge, but because it was on the road and because it's so quiet this morning, I didn't want to take the risk filming. So what I'll do is I'll share those images that I took of the van sitting on the bridge with you just now. Right, so I've pulled over And as you can see, the sun's coming up over the trees in the east, and we've got the Sheriff Muir Hills up in the background, and that peak you can see up there where my finger is called the Myatt, spelt D-U-M-Y-A-T. So some people might say Dumyat, but it's pronounced the Myatt. So what I thought might make quite a nice picture here is we've got a lot of old trees or dead trees in the background here, and I thought if I was to stand over there somewhere, I could get the van on the right hand side and I can get this vista on the left hand side, because with the sun shining on it, that could be quite a nice image. And then we've got a wee industrial shot where there's some kind of, I don't know what they are, I don't know if they're feeder tanks or whatever, but in the farm in the background we've got some cows in the field. So you never know, from a frontal point of view shooting back, it could make quite a nice shot. So what I'll do is I'll take some images here and I'll share those images with you now. Pulled into an old farm, as you can see. There's a lot of old machinery and barns. It's obviously still working. But what I was going to try and do, one thing I've got to need to share with you is I was driving down the single track roads. I stopped off and I took shots of the Wallace Monument. I don't know if they've turned out. If they turn out, I'll share them with you now. Right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take some quick shots, and what I'll try and do is get some of the graffiti on the wall, get a side view of the van against the clad iron, and then there's also quite an interesting old tank over there with some graffiti, so if I pulled the van over there I might be able to get some nice shots. So what I'll do is I'll take some shots and then I'll share those images with you now. So I've pulled up probably my last location, and what I was trying to do was position the van. If I turn that camera around, you've got Stirling Castle here, but unfortunately I don't know how I'm going to get this, but I wanted to get a shot of the Wallace Monument. So there's the Wallace Monument there across the fields, so I might have to pull the van forward a little bit here, and then that will give me a composition where I've got a 3/4 van and then I've got the Wallace Monument in the background. But I'm just walking around the van to see. So if I take this shot, I've got the castle on the immediate left. The only thing is, and things to watch out for, is when I take a shot, so if I go back, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, if I take a shot at the castle there, the wheel you can't see, so I'd need to turn the wheel in so you can see the wheel. and then if I go round and just move to the right a bit, then I've got a nicer shot of the castle and the van, and I can isolate that by cropping them in. I might try a longer lens as well and see if we can pull in the castle, although I'm quite close to the van and there's not a lot of space behind me. Now let me try the first shot first, then I'll take these shots, and then I'll catch back. Right, so I've had to move the van because I was too neat and too tight. So what I've done is I've taken 2 or 3 shots, giving the van more space on this side with the castle on the left. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move over here. So the challenge I have here, we've now got a lot of sun and I'm really struggling to get the glare off the windscreen here. So I've increased my shutter speed, I've reduced my ISO, and I've got a funny feeling for this angle the sun's going to beat me. So I'll go really low, because then that way you get a kind of roadside view. I've got the wheel turned in so you can actually see the wheel in the van. There's actually a wee hole in the hedge here, even though I am shooting into the sun, where I've actually got the Wallace Monument, believe it or not. So I might not necessarily need to take that shot I mentioned earlier, because I've actually got the monument through the hedge. I'm getting the glare of the field behind me in my viewer, so it's difficult to make out where my van is. Right, so I've got 2 or 3 shots here. I think we'll call it a morning. The sun's out and it's going to be far too strong and severe for us. So I'll share these images with you now. Alright, so here's hoping we can make a video of this. I hope it's interesting in the sense that there's different compositions for a van or a car. You can drive anywhere and take images of your car, your bike, whatever it might be. You just need to get out and go and roam. So I'll end the video. Thanks very much for watching. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because you know it's free. And if you press the bell notification, that'll let you know the next time I post a video. So thanks very much for watching, and here's to the next video.